my wife to read, and she's the best editor I have. And usually then I just polish it up and send it off to my friends who read for me and read their comments, and then it's ready to submit.
Thank you.
Perfection is a really nice thing to strive for, but it doesn't exist in this business. Dave and Patricia are magnificent writers, and neither one of them has ever written a perfect book. God knows I have never written a perfect book. And so sometimes good enough, great enough, whatever, is where we stop, because the purpose of doing this is to publish. The purpose of doing this is to get the story out there. And so there comes a time when you have to let go. Every book I've published was a work in progress until the day it hit the shelves, because I'm constantly trying to tweak it and make it better. But you got to get it out of your hands and into the hands of the people who can help you further your career.
The famous quote is, and it was referring to works of art, the famous quote is, works of art are never finished, they're just abandoned by their creator. And that's kind of what books are too. Yeah.
You can spoil them.
Yes.
All right, we've just got the 5-minute wave from the back. One last opportunity, I think, for every one of you to give us something I didn't ask, or the audience didn't ask, that you really have to say about this topic and closing remarks.
This just occurred to me. If you're stuck in a scene and it's just not going anywhere, take somebody out and put somebody else in, and take the most unlikely character in your book and throw them in, and you'll get really cool scenes, and the energy will come back into them.
Ultimately, the thing that gets me through these moments is faith that on some level, when I was planning the novel, I knew there was a story there. And even if I can't see the story right now, because I'm at that misty, foggy, horrible 65% mark, the story is still there, and it's just a matter of finding that path again. And so don't lose faith in yourself. Believe in the story that you started writing.
I learned more about writing my second book, Shadow, which is the darkest thing I ever wrote. And there was one scene in there where the really nasty heroine gets her comeuppance. And I could not get that to come out right until finally I chopped it and threw most of it out. We knew what was about to happen, and she didn't, and she was just led out the door and the door closed. And the next time I read through the book, I said, wow, because it worked. And the other thing I learned in that book was I had one scene that came in with the Archbishop, who was being told that he was actually now the king because the king had been murdered. And the guy is obviously senile and doesn't understand, and they keep going through it, and it's hilariously funny. And this is in the middle of a horribly dark story. And I kept reading that and thinking, the editors might be take that out, might be take that out. But nobody did. I think it's just instinct. You have to read the book over and over. That's a very important tip. And when you read it, try and read it as an outsider. Get the impact of things like that.
I just want to thank all the panel members for everything you've said. Thank you.
If you follow all these tips, you'll never get to the end.
All right, now a little bit of accountability, but you weren't expecting this. How many people here, show of hands, those people who are stuck somewhere, have learned something they think today, and they're going to go home and try and fix it. Let's see. All right, awesome. Good job.